Kia ora there whānau, doing something a little bit different for this video, where I'm just going to be giving you a quick review / impressions of Devil May Cry 5. Now this is a game I've been looking forward to for a very long time now, and after finally getting to play it, I am happy to say that Devil May Cry is friggin' back. Whoo boy, I've really been enjoying this game so far. I've already beaten the game on the hardest default difficulty, and I'm currently playing through it on the Son of Sparta mode. Now, the way this game works is that it's best described as a score attack hack and slash game, or just straight up action game, whichever one you prefer. But yep, Devil May Cry 5 has finally come out over 10 years after Devil May Cry 4. Been waiting for this one for a very long time now, ever since DMC4 and of course the rebooted DMC Devil May Cry. We won't talk about that. So for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly give you a breakdown on how the game's structure is. I won't go too much into the story because I know there's people that won't like to be spoiled on that, even if you probably don't care. But anyway, I'm just going to start off by talking about the characters you play as individually. Starting off with the fella that you first start with, as well as the main fella of the Devil May Cry 4 game, Nero. Now this fella, the way he works in this game, he's pretty similar to the last one he was in, where he had three main weapons. His pistol, the Blue Rose, his sword, the Red Queen, and his arm, more specifically his right arm, the Devil Bringer. But in this game, right at the beginning of the story, he gets that arm ripped off, and one of his friends, Nico, actually builds him several new mechanical arms to help him in fights, as well as to get in touch with his demonic power again. More specifically with that one is the Devil Breaker arm. I love using that one. He's also got other arms like the Tomboy, as well as the Overture, and several others that I won't bother listing off because some of them are honestly really hard to remember. But yep, Nero, his gameplay, whichever one you prefer, it revolves around him controlling space so that he can get in close with his arm attacks, or he can swing at them with his sword that he can actually rev up like a motorcycle. Now that I like a lot. Now, with his arms specifically, one of my things that I love doing the most with that is that I love using the Gerbera to maneuver and get around, and because certain attacks can deflect other attacks in this game, no matter what attack you do, if you time it right, it'll bounce the attack right back at the enemy. So I love using the Gerbera to do that because it's an attack / dodge mechanic. And the Tomboy, which you're seeing right here, revs up your sword and gun so that you can just swing like mad. I absolutely love that. And with other things that Nero can unlock, he can go pretty crazy with a lot of his moves and abilities, which I won't go into much detail now because it's better that you just experience that for yourself. Oh, and also very quickly before I move on to the next character, the graphics in this game are really damn good. Now I played this game on the PS4 Pro and I actually live streamed it on release. So the game ran very smooth, 60 frames per second, and it looked really friggin' good. You can tell that a lot of detail and attention to pretty much everything. Man, Capcom blew it out of the park with this one. Now the footage that you're seeing on screen right now may look a little bit weird because when I did get the footage for all of this, my color control on my TV wasn't set properly, so a lot of colors were exaggerated, but other than that, when I was able to fix that, it looked really damn good. And also, now I'll move on to the next character, V. He's actually the new character that was introduced in this game, and he plays very differently to the others. He's not really up in your face type of gameplay. What he has to do is that he needs to keep his distance because he's actually physically weaker than everyone else. So he controls three demons. He controls a panther named Shadow, a bird named Griffin, and a big behemoth named Nightmare. Yeah, that's it, Nightmare. I almost said Goliath, but nope, that's one of the bosses. And one of them shoots lasers, the other one can turn his body into multiple different weapons, and the big fella, that's his what's called Devil Trigger. It's basically the super form that your characters can go into, and he can summon that big bugger in order to do some massive damage at the cost of it being very slow. And one other thing that I really like about these characters is that you will see both of them on screen at once at certain points in the story if you're online. Because one of the features that I really like about this game that works really damn well is that you can actually meet other players online in the story mode where you can actually help each other out. Like this battle right here, I'm actually teamed up with someone else. Now there are multiple parts in the story where you can actually team up with other characters to take out the enemy. And also another thing I just like doing is when you do meet someone and the big ass battle is ended, you can stand in front of each other and you can keep taunting each other, and it's friggin' hilarious. And taunting in this game actually does tie into the game's mechanics, just like before. If you taunt your enemy at a specific time, depending on your style rating, it will actually give you more style points, which means it'll add to your score at the end, which gives you more red orbs to unlock things. And unlocking things in this game is something you'll definitely want to do, and you'll definitely want to mix and match all of your weapons and your styling on the enemy as much as you can, as well as practicing not getting hit, because believe me, that is harder to do than it sounds. As you can see, I just taunted right there. I love doing that. And there are multiple different bosses in the game. That works out really damn well. Each one of them is unique, and there is a boss rush gauntlet, but the previous bosses that are in the gauntlet, you fought them with Nero and Dante, more on him later, and you have to fight them again as V, and that works out really well. The story, like I said before, is really freaking good, especially if you've been waiting for this game as long as I have. And yep, it definitely exceeds expectations. A lot of mysteries get answered. Also, you know those dances from Fortnite? Oh, fuck that. Check this out. The seasoned devil hunter, or as I like to call him, the demonic clown, is back in full swing in this game. Basically, every version of him, with the exception of the other one, is available in this game. He has all the flashy punches and kicks from Devil May Cry 3 and 1. He's got all the smart remarks from pretty much all of them with the exception of 2. And he's just absolutely freaking ballistic with everything that he can do. So, the way that he works is that he has 4 different styles that he can alternate in order to change up his attacks. Gunslinger, Trickster, Swordmaster, and Royal Guard. And what these do is that they amplify certain moves of his so that he can just go completely friggin' nuts. If you've seen combo videos on YouTube of this, then you can know how crazy he can get. This is not only the best version of him character-wise, but also the best version of him visually. As you can see on the screen right here, he looks amazing. They really took him to the next level with his regular form and his devil trigger, and something else about him that I won't spoil as well. And as you saw with that Michael Jackson dance, he can use a hat as a weapon. And if you want to practice this stuff even more, you can go into this place called The Void, where it lets you test out different moves and abilities before you even buy them, or if you just want to watch the characters looking cool, like I do. Outside of that, you've got the gallery, you can look up illustrations and different types of enemy files and all that. This game is a complete package. If you're sick of buying games where they're not even finished before released, this one had 10 years before it came out, and it looks friggin' awesome. It looks good, plays good, sounds good. The whole game is just amazing. This is definitely a 10 out of 10 game in my opinion. Is it perfect? Honestly, not really, but it's pretty damn close. And yep, I don't know how else to say this other than if you haven't bought this game, buy it! Okay, sorry, went a little crazy there. Okay, well anyway, that is my quick little review / impressions of Devil May Cry. Not really informative, I just really wanted to tell you that you should buy this game. Sorry. Okay, yeah, I think I'm done. Sharefano? Kakite.